Here's how to program dual rate using a Devo 7 and a Walkera Ladybug, which is a really cute little quadcopter. One of the problems with this little guy is he's so fast, it's very hard to practice indoors. And dual rate is one way to solve that problem. You can flip your switch down to 1 instead of 0. And have the controls be much less lively than you would want them to be outdoors. It's a great way to learn outdoors too, where you don't have it fly off across the field. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to show you how to program your Devo 7, and here we go. Okay, I've powered on the Devo 7, and it's now in its default screen after it does its beeping and so forth. You'll notice it toggles between two displays here. TH 1%, that's the amount of thrust. QR is the current model that we have loaded. And my Devo 7 came with a model called QR that was designed to be used with the Ladybird. So the first thing I want to do is copy that model so that I won't mess up if I make any mistakes, I can always go back to this original model. So let's do that. First thing you do is press enter, and as time passes you'll have to watch me push these buttons because I won't be explaining every one of them. But you can rotate between system, model, and function. We want to go to model, press enter, and it's already flashing on select. In that case, press enter. We're going to copy the model. So we're going to space down to copy. The copy is flashing, we press enter. Our source is already set to QR, so that's good, press enter. Our destination, we want to copy off to an empty spot, and press the L button till you get to something like mod 2, mod 3. That generally means an empty slot that hasn't been used. So we're going to copy to mod 2, press enter, run. I think we say yes here, I always do. And now, when we go back to our select menu, okay, we're back in the model menu now. Go up to select, press enter, and you'll see we have a QR. QR2 I had before, and here's our QR. Notice we have two QRs. It's a little confusing, but see that flashing there? That's our copied QR, and that's the one we are going to modify. And just for to avoid confusion, I want to name this model. So we're going to come out of the select menu by pressing EXT. Going to go to name. Name will let us rename our current model. So I'm going to just space out to the right by pressing the up button, no, down button a couple times. And I'm going to then use this side to create a new name. We're going to call it QR3. So this is the name of our new model that we've just created. Press enter and then exit. And now our current model is QR2. We can or QR3. We can double check that. See the QR3 flashing? Okay, now we're going to come out and press EXT to get out to the total outside. Press enter, and now we're going to go to function. This is where we're really going to start actually programming. So up to now all we've done is created a copy of our original model, and now we're going to modify it. Okay, now we're going to actually change the DR and the DR settings so that we will have a softer thrust for indoor flight, and for outdoor flight when we don't really need to zip around so much. When you're first learning, that's a lot nicer. So first thing we do is go out to the outside menu, make sure we select the correct model to work on. And in this case, okay, we press select. We want to work on the model called QR3. Okay, we're happy with that. Come out now and go to function. Press enter, and we're going to go down to a thing called D-R EXP. Select D-R EXP, and we're now going to work our way through several channels that we're going to modify to not be as intense. So the way we pick the channel is with these up and down. So you can see we can actually, I'm sorry, we pick the channel here, and we have elevator, airline, and rudder. That's what we care about. And within each channel we have several parameters that we can change. We can change, first we can select it for position 0 of the DR switch, or position 1. We're going to modify position 1. So we press on this side, select position 1. And here's the part where you actually make it change the parameters. We're going to go all the way down to 50%. That's a very soft response. It means that when you pull back on the stick or push forward on the stick, it's only going to have half as much impact as it would. So, okay, that's good. Press EXT to get out of that. I'm sorry, press down, so get from our DR 50%. We now press exponent. Exponent allows you to also soften the shape of the curve. So let's do that. I'm going to change over to plus 50, which is a nice gentle curve. It means when you're first moving the stick, it'll have less effect, so it gives you a much more control at lower speeds. And if you push the stick all the way, you get just as much as you would have otherwise. So anyway, exponent plus 50, and these I just leave the same, ST1, ST2, blah blah blah. So okay, we're happy with that one. We're going to go back to channel elevation. Now notice I pressed up until I got to channel elevation. I did not press EXT. Okay, we're now going to go to, we changed elevator. We're also going to change airline switch position 1. Okay, so we go down to airline. DR should be 50. And by the way, you can set these up higher if you want it to be a little more responsive and move around a little bit more. Change that 50 to a 60, 70, 80, whatever you want. This is your stuff. You get to decide. Okay, DR 50, exponent, we're going to go to plus 50, as I recall. Plus 50. Okay, and then the other two we don't care about, ST1, ST2, etc. Okay, so go all the way back up to airline, and now the only one we have left is rudder. Pause 1, that's what good, that's what we want to change. If we change pause 0, which we could also do, that will change its behavior when the DR is in switch position 0. We want to leave that alone. So we're going to position 1, take our percent down to 50, and our exponent also to plus 50. Now if you go in the minus direction, it'll get even more responsive, so make sure you see that plus sitting there. Okay, so we're good. Now we're done programming it. Now I'm going to show you how to verify that you actually have the right values. Okay, now we programmed our D-R EXP settings, and we want to make sure that they're correct. Now how do we do that? Well, you could go out and fly your Ladybug and see what happens, but that's a little risky. What we're going to do is go out to function again. Okay, now just to show you where we are, I'm going to press EXT all the way. I press enter, I go to function, press enter again, and now I can go through the various items that we have available. And the one we want is called monitor. So when monitor is flashing, press ENT, and now we can watch the elevator is at 1%. We pull back on it, goes to -81. Push forward, it goes to +78. That's in our DR0 position. Now what happens when we switch to DR1? Push forward, it goes to 48. Backward, it goes to 51. So notice the difference here. On DR0, I have 80%. You may show a different value here, for example, 100. So we have basically 80% either direction. And if we flip to 1, we have 51% in each direction. Likewise with rudder left, oh, I'm sorry. We have to change our channel that we're looking at, which we do here. Okay. So here's early on left is +102, and pushing the stick to the right is -97. So that's a full 100% each direction in switch position 0. We move the switch to position 1, and now we have +52, -47. So that's pretty darn close. You can see we got a little trim going on here, the +2. That's probably what's going on. Okay, and let's check the throttle and then left and right rudder. So move over to throttle, THRO. It shows -103, and we push the throttle all the way, it's +100. Throttle in the middle would be close to 0, depending on your EXP setting. So from -103 to +100, that's our switch position 0. So switch position 1 is also -3 to +100. So there actually is a way to tweak that setting, but we're not going to bother. The next one is rudder. So rudder goes from 47 on one side to 52 on the other. That's in switch position 1. We go to switch position 0, and our rudder is 97 and 102. So you can see we can look at our values for elevator, airline, and rudder and make sure that we have the right values. So that's how you do it. That's how you set your Ladybird. So when you want to fly indoors, go to position 1. When you want to go outdoors, go to position 0, and you'll be in great shape. Okay, have fun, and this is dedicated to Marty Go in Japan, my nephew, and I hope you all have fun with your Ladybirds. It's a great little quadcopter. Take care.